What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and boy, we have some exciting things to take a look at today. We get to take a look at Kronen's skills, and this is actually pretty damn cool and really unexpected. So, what happened yesterday was the Korean forums ended up posting this right here, which was actually pretty damn cool. And none of this really matters for us guys because we all play on global. There might be some of you Korean players out there that this would pertain to. I did translate this to English, but if you scroll down, you can actually see his skills. Now, this is a short little 6-second clip. There isn't a lot to it, but actually there is. If you actually take a look at this thing, there's a lot of things that you're going to notice about Krohnen, right? And something you're going to notice right now is it says, what is the effect of using the awakening skill to exhaust the power gauge? So whenever he uses his awakened skill here, the power gauge is going to go bye-bye, and increasing his attack power by 20% for every one space of power gauge consumed. So what this means is whenever he uses his awakened skill, like he's going to use all of his PG, right? But if he has 5 bars of power gain, that's 100% increase to his attack, right? 5 bars, 5 times 20%, that's 100%, right? So it's a huge, huge buff and something different than what all of our other awakened characters have, right? All of our other characters, period. No character has this thing where you hit their awakened skill and they get a 20% attack buff for every bar space consumed. No character has that. So Kronen's going to be unique just in that just in that respect alone. But if you take a look at him closer, there's actually some things you can actually notice about him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to turn this on. And you guys are going to notice real quickly how this is going to go. So we can actually do this in slow motion, guys, to where this is the beginning of the fight. You can see he has 5 bars of power gain, right? He's got his default ready. Unfortunately, we can't look at his 3PG, but you can actually kind of move this along here. Give me a second, guys. There we go. And he hits his, kind of scroll there. There you see burn attack increase. So right there already tells you guys that he's going to have burn damage. And I know some players out there are going to be like, oh my God, another burn character. It's K49, right? He's a clone of Kyo from the Nest Saga. Of course he's going to have burn. It just makes perfect sense, right? It'd be kind of dumb if he didn't have burn, right? And then he hits his awaken skill, right? Awaken max mode, right? Is what they're going to be calling that. And then you see the burn attack increase. All right, we'll kind of scroll along a little bit here. And you also notice, guys, that he has a blast on his first skill, a strike on his second, and his third skill is actually a charge skill, which is pretty interesting. Usually a lot of times they put the charge skills on the first skill, but for Krohnen, they decided to put it on the third skill. And we know how powerful charge skills can actually be. All right, so we're going to scroll along. So right there, guys, you see when he hits his first skill, you can already see burn. You can already see attack increase. So you know on his first skill, he's going to have burn or he has an attack increase. Now, the burn could be coming from his core. Maybe whenever he attacks, he gets a burn starts up. Maybe something like that. That is possible. And you see the skill, guys. He shoots the flame all the way across the screen. You see the critical rate decrease. So he's going to decreasing the critical rate of the opponents. And what that means is if he's decreasing the critical rate of his opponents, like if he has a critical hit shield and he decreases their critical rate, it's going to be harder for them to break his shield unless they do a certain amount of hits, which more than likely, if he does have a shield, is going to be 30 hits. By the way, some of you probably already noticed that he is a purple defense, which we will talk about. So we kind of scrolled up a little bit here. You see the skill cooldown decrease. Now, guys, this little icon is actually just from using the awakened skill. Every time we use awakened skills, you just run through your rotations, your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever the rotation may be for your characters, and the skills just keep resetting themselves. They still have a solid cooldown. That's what this icon actually is. It isn't a CDR core, which is a cooldown reduction core from his core, right? But he still might have it. I don't really know, but this here is definitely from his awakened skill. And you can see the second skill is called Heat Shield, right? Which is pretty interesting. Kind of scroll a little bit here. We'll just keep moving along. And now you see Petrify, guys. So when you hit the second skill, he actually is petrifying now. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to be from his core or it's actually probably from his second skill, more than likely. So we know that he's got burn, and we also know that he has petrify. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then here you see the gun blast. That's pretty cool, right? Or max fusion blaster. Nice. And this skill also gives him hyper armor, as you guys can see. So that's really no surprise. I mean, of course, he's going to have hyper armor. All of our characters do, especially when it comes to EX characters. Oh, yeah. Nice, nice. Kind of jumps up in the air, lands down. Very, very, very cool. So let's watch this in real time. So, I mean, and by the way, I think you guys might have noticed at the very end there was a attack increase also. So, I mean, he's definitely going to have attack buffs. I didn't see any dot explosion in this kit so far. I haven't seen any dot explosion. So, I don't know. You know, they ran through all three of the skills, and this version of him might not be finished per se, but I would like to think that he is because he's coming out in just a couple days. So I would imagine that he is finished, but I'm not seeing any explosion. And it doesn't mean he doesn't have explosion. He might have it, or maybe he's just going to be so godly that he doesn't need explosion. I don't know. It remains to be seen how good he's actually going to be, guys, as far as his power level. I mean, I'm pretty much predicting that K49 or Krohnen is going to be the strongest character in the game. I'm pretty much betting that he's going to be the strongest character in the game. Now, as far as being a purple defense, these are the characters that he's going to be contending with. So he's got Akuma over here. He's got Leona, Zero, and I'm pretty much betting, guys, that he's probably going to be the strongest character of the purple, probably the strongest character in the game. Now, I can't confirm that. I really don't know for sure, but since we just had the recent banner with Angel, who wasn't stronger than Kyo, they didn't give us any power creep as far as being compared to Kyo, which was actually kind of surprising. So that leads me to believe that more than likely we will have a big power creep this banner. I could be wrong, but K49 is extremely popular, and that's a big reason why I think they're going to make him so strong, right? And it's kind of funny that he actually has burn, right? Because the top two characters actually do have burn, which is pretty funny. Whether or not he's going to have explosion, we'll see. And more than likely, you guys can expect that these characters are going to get dropped down a notch. More than likely. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but that's pretty much what I would be expecting because we all know how KOF likes to do it, right? They usually like to give us some power creep. And I would say most of our banners, 9 times out of 10, they usually will give us some power creep. Although, like I said a second ago, they didn't do it with Angel, which was actually really surprising, even though she is a godly character, definitely became the strongest green, but not the strongest character in the game like what happened to Kyo. So we'll see what happens here in the purple. You know, will Akuma be dropped down? Will he lose his first place spot? We'll see, guys. Will that God status be removed? I have no idea, but I'm pretty much expecting that it will be. I'm pretty much expecting that it's going to happen. So definitely some interesting things that we got to see with Krohnen today, especially, you know, with his awakened skill, giving him an attack power boost by 20% for every bar of PG consumed. I mean, that's pretty wild, man. You know, having 5 bars of PG and then gaining 100% attack. And then he also has attack buffs built into his skills or into his core, as we all saw in that preview. So I'm expecting some godliness from Krohnen, guys. Let me know what you think about the skills that you saw. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.